Good morning, welcome to Trading with Goals. I'm going to start. Before I start on 5K plays, I'm going to talk about the strategy we're going to look at this week. So we have so many stocks that pulled back last week. They hit support, they had hit resistance, and then they came down. So I'm just going to demonstrate the stocks that did the same thing 2 weeks ago, and they were key plays. Now they were looking the same strategy of support and resistance last week, just to know how to trade the stocks I've listed them. I've listed resistance and least support before the market opens. So how to trade them this week. So for example, this is MAR. So the previous week, this was the week from the 1st of May to the 5th. So that this was based on the week from 1st to 5th and know how to trade last week. So I'm just going to demonstrate so that you guys know what to do this week. So from the 1st, so the previous, that was Friday, it had hit 246. Then it pulled back to 236, which was from Friday to Tuesday. Now the whole week it was going at 243, coming down to this 237, almost doing the same kind of consolidation the whole week. Okay, so we had 246 the previous week and it didn't break above that level. Come Friday the 12th, it had hit 245. So this was what you're looking for the previous week. So for us, we'll be looking at last week, which is 15 to 19. Now this is, I'm just giving an example of this is what would have looked at last week based on the week from 1st to 5th. So when Monday came, the minute it's breaking above, it broke that resistance level, the 245, then you're riding it up. Okay, so this week we still, so many stocks are still bearish. We might be getting just pullback and then you come down. So for example, this MAR on Monday, ride it up from 243, went up to 255, and then you ride it back down. Okay, so the goodness of such strategy is when you're trading calls, because you're coming from support, or this stock is breaking a resistance level, so it's continuation up. So you're making money with calls, and then when it hits a resistance, puts are cheap because this stock came from 237 all the way to 255. So you're getting puts are cheap and you're getting 2 days of this pullback. Okay, so this went on from Wednesday, then Thursday, and then Friday we had a sideways move. So the same stock, you can still look at it this week if it's gonna break this level, but I'm just demonstrating what the stocks that based on the same strategy last week and what you guys need to look at this week. Okay, those ones I've posted in the weekly watch list. I'm just looking at them before I look at our 5K plays. Now that's MAR. That's one example. Another example was so BBY. So the previous week, you want to see the previous week, what was happening from the 1st. So this was from the 1st to the 5th. So this is the 1st, it was coming from support. So we hit 85, it came to 80, and then it went up to the 5th. It went to, so this is the first year can come from 85 to 80, and then the 5th is Friday. It has still not gone back to this level. So we were still at support. So it means this stock had hit resistance, they came down, or they had hit support and they went up. So this one had hit resistance and then came down. So you're coming from support. So come Monday, this is Monday, this is the other week. It went from that 80, just above 80, and went to 87. And then before Friday, it hit like a double top. Okay, then you had this pullback. So from Monday, you would have been trading a break of 87. Okay, and that's what it did. It broke 87, it went to 90, and then shallow pullback. So this is still a play you can look this week because it didn't have a deep pullback like MAR. So there might be continuation into this week. So it's based on support and resistance. Okay, so another example, we had Mindy. So you want to go like 2 weeks back to see where had this stock, what had it done? Was it coming from resistance or was it coming from support? So this one was coming from 210, went all the way to 251, the 8th, and then we had this pullback from 251 to 227 on the 12th. So come Monday, if it's not go breaking this level, then it means you're going to have bearish continuation. So this was Friday, then Monday it went to 248, so it did not go back to 251. So it means you're trading puts, and you can see even pre-market is still dropping. So it means this one you are trading puts to go to break this level, and that's what it did. It broke that 227. On Thursday hit 221, shallow pullback, and we might see this still continuing down. So if you look here, it came from 210. From this, you're looking like, where did it come from? Had it hit a resistance level or a support? So this one had hit a resistance, came down to a support. Come Monday, Tuesday, it was a pullback, shallow pullback, did not break this level, so you're trading puts. So those plays can give you both directions, depending on, is that stock coming from support or is it coming from resistance? So this is now the same thing. So you're looking 2 weeks before, just want to see an idea of where is it coming from. So we had hit, you guys remember, it was supposed to retest 815, it rejected 806. We had this drop from 806 to 731. Okay, then it started going back up, which was now the Monday. So the Monday, it hit a resistance, yes, and that's a lower high because it didn't go back to 806. So it means it's a lower high you're getting puts, and it means you're going to break which level? It's supposed to break this 731 for a continuation. So from here, if it's not going back to the resistance, the previous resistance, it's a lower high, then you're riding it back down, and that's what happened. And it almost had like a double bottom here or a triple bottom. So 731, this same level here and here, and we've seen it going back up, and even pre-market is a bit up. So you want to see if it's going to break this level to go up and still break this, or if it's a lower high, you're still riding it down. So this is a strategy based on support and resistance. You want to see previously, did this stock hit a support or was it coming from a resistance level? We have QCOM. So we had a lot of semiconductor stocks last week which had hit resistance level. Okay, so QCOM, you're looking 2 weeks back. You want to see where was it coming from. So it was coming from resistance. We had 210, 210, 211, like a triple top. So it means what? You're getting puts, you're going to break which level? This 199. And you want to see where was it coming from? It was coming from 193. Okay, so you're getting puts because this had hit 3 resistance level, 1, 2, 3, triple top, then you're getting put. So from Tuesday, you knew after this move. So this was Thursday, Friday, Monday. Monday, we had this shallow pullback to the same level. Then you're getting put, you're breaking this level, and you're aiming to retest or break. Where was it coming from? It was coming from 193, and we broke that. We went all the way to 185. Okay, so that's another example. We had another one that's this one I'm just basing it on last week so that we know what to look at this week. So LMT. So LMT, you want to see it was coming from this 475. This was a 52-week high. It had a failed slingshot. It came all the way from 475 to 456. So this is the 12th. Then come the 15th, Monday last week. So it's coming from support. It had hit this resistance, it dropped. So you're riding it back up. It broke. So it means if it's coming from support, it's meant to break this level and give you a new high. And that's what it did. Monday, 463 went on to 481, gave us a new high. So that's I said this week we'll look at, we've been looking at different strategies. We had the stocks that need to create a new high. We've been looking at that the whole week. So this week I'm just basing it on support and resistance because we have so many stocks that have hit resistance and dropped, or hit the support and going up, like LMT. So this is an example. So come this week, and LMT is reporting earnings on Tuesday, pre-market. You want to see if it's creating a higher low. If it's pulling back, if it still wants to continue up, then it means you're gonna have a new high. It's gonna continue going up. So that's LMT. Then we had, so that's just the example from last week. And then we look at the ones now we are looking at this week. So another one we had last week was UNH. So where was it coming from? So you guys know UNH, the key level we are looking at was 535. And those, ever since June, we had that 509, 502, 492, 510. So it was coming from that resistance, pulled back, okay, 484. And then now that last week, Monday, it reported earnings, was it pre-market on Tuesday? We had this pullback. So it was coming from, we broke this level. So it means if it broke the previous resistance and you're coming from a higher low support, then you're riding it up. Okay, so we saw this move post ER went all the way to 581. So still UNH is in a 5K list this week. We're still looking at it. Can have a pullback. So now we've hit resistance, we're pulling back. If we still create a higher low, we're still riding it back up. So that's resistance stocks. I want to look at one which was in another one was low, the same thing. So you want to just go back. When you put your chart on 1 hour, you can clearly see if this stock was coming from support or resistance. So we had 230, we came to 211 the first week of July, and then so the 15th was here. We had broken above the 230. So this is a continuation play because it had broken above this resistance level. So we had this pullback to 231, and then we got continuation, and then we rejected 250, and then we had this move, this pullback. So this week still we want to see if it will pull back again, continue pulling back, or we'll have continuation to break this 246 or give us a new high, 52-week high from this move. So let's see if we had a stock that was under, that has been bearish for a while. So we had RH. I think this one created it went up. So RH, we were coming from that resist. So we had the 301, which was pre-ER, then it had this drop. So it was coming from support, 250. It broke above this. So you're looking at if it's broken that resistance level, the previous resistance level, then it means you're getting a continuation play. Okay, so this we had this is the 9th, it started going up. So from the 15th, it was a continuation play. Why? Because we had broken this level. So we went up 295, but 295 is still not 301. So bearish. After this, it was a lower high. Then we had this move down. Okay, so we want to see this week if it will go back still to break that level. If not, then we still have bearish continuation. Let's see one that was. So we had also ILM. ILMN, this has been bearish for so long. We saw some pullback. So where was it coming from? So this is the level 115. If it had broken that level, then it means you're looking at continuation. So it had broken that level the previous week, the 12th, ending 12th. So Monday, you're looking at continuation to break this level, go up. That's what it did, gave us 126. And then you're looking at where was it supposed to go back to. As long as, so we broke this 124, then it was supposed to go to 131. So if it's not going to 131, it's a lower high, then you're getting puts. So this plays based on this strategy, support and resistance. High chances you're getting two trends for the same week. So we get continuation, but if it still doesn't go to the previous high, you're getting puts. So this is a good strategy because you're riding that stock up. If it's giving you a lower high, you're riding it back down. So that's just an example of the stocks from last week with the same strategy. I don't know if this one's had any move. We had retail stocks moving. So this was those that were tired of being bearish. So where was it coming from? This has been bearish. This has just been trending down. We came from 129, creating lower highs, lower highs. So this week ending the 12th, it had done this pullback and it broke. It didn't break 109, so it was a lower high. So come Monday, we had it now breaking this 101.83, and it gave us like a triple bottom. We have this 101 here, 101 here, another 101. So you're riding it up. So still look at this. It's I think it's in the 5K play. It needs to now go up. If it breaks this 109, you're looking at it moving up. We still have a long way from where we came from, 129. So this one needs to be above this 109 to give us a indication that it wants to go back up. Okay, BLTR and ETSI, I think also it was pulling back last week. Okay, so where was ETSI coming from? Support. It had hit this resistance, then it dropped to this support, and then come Monday, it was already above 61. So you're looking at continuation. It's already told you what it wants to do. So it had broken this previous lower high level Monday. So you're looking at calls. You want to see the intention. If it is a broken above that level, you're looking at calls. So going up, it went to 66. And then as long as it's not touching the previous high level, which is 67, then you're trading puts. So this strategy of support and resistance, it will give you those two movements in 1 week. You're riding it up. You want to see previously what had it done. You're riding it up and then you're riding it back down if it's not hitting that level. So that's just an example of what happened last week. So now I'm gonna look at those stocks that we are looking at this week from the same strategy. So we have ISRG. Okay, so ISRG reported earnings and it finally broke. So you're looking back what had happened before. It was meant to break this 449. So it broke it. So we are looking at this in terms of continuation. Okay, so we either gonna get a pullback. If it's a shallow pullback, doesn't go to 413, then you're still riding it up. we're going to break this 456. We're going to get a new high. And ISRG is momentum. So it's a momentum play. So we're going to see this because it already broke this. It's already told us the intention. It wants to go up. Okay. So that's already the intention we know. So we're either going to get continuation up and then pull back. You are supposed to get two plays, two movements in a week, not just you're there saying, oh, I'm swinging and I'm holding calls. You're supposed to get two movements this week. The second one, LMT is also momentum and it's reporting earnings. I looked at it already. So last week, it already broke above that. So it broke above that 475. So we know the intention because it went to 481. So we've had this shallow pullback. If it creates a higher low, we are riding it up. We're going to break this 481. We're going to get a new high. When it's done, you're going to get a pullback. You must get two movements. Okay, so that's LMT, ISRG, LMT. Okay, the other one we're looking at, which had, so PAN-W, I think it's been consolidating, is in the 5K play. Not a lot of movement, so I think we might get some move this week. So for PAN-W, we needed to break above 340, 345 for us to know the intention. So it's coming from support 320. So we came from 345. It was going sideways. So since June 27th, this stock has been going sideways. So finally here, so this consolidation level, it finally broke this, then went to went to 320. So that's why I've put it in the 5K play because of this consolidation. So now it's coming from support. So it needs to break above 345. So if it's breaking 345, you're going, riding it higher. You guys know PAN-W, we still have some room. You still have some room. We came from 380 back in February. It has never gone back to this level. So we want to see if it's after this consolidation, if it's gonna give us that move to approach 380, or if it's gonna give us a lower high, then you're riding it down and then it will give you move up. It has to give you two movements that week. So depending on what you're starting with, if it's a move up first and then a continuation, or it's gonna continue down fast and then give you the move up. It must give you two movements. So here we need it to be above 345. The minute it's breaking that, you're riding it up, and we still have room to go to 380. So I'm really counting on this one this week because of this consolidation. Okay, then we have something else we're looking at this week, Netflix. So this is post ER. You guys know Netflix post ER. Usually a good play post ER. It's in the 5K play also. So we came from resistance. We failed to break to hit 700. We had like 497, 495. Then we had this drop from 495 to, sorry, 695. It rejected 700. It was very key for Netflix to hit 700 this month. So if it's not, I said, if by end of this week we've not touched 700, most probably this might not happen until October. I don't know. So let's see. So Netflix, we had this drop and it went even lower post ER. We hit 628. So we needed to go back up. Okay, so it needs to be above 667, this previous lower high level. It needs to be above it. Then it will give us an indication that it wants to go back up. If it goes up and is not touching this 667, then you're riding it back down. You have to get two movements out of this week for those support and resistance level. I'm talking about them because almost all 5K plays are in this strategy, which is the strategy I'm focusing on this week. Okay, so Netflix, that's what you're looking at. previous lower high level. We have this rejection week post here 679. So we need this level, which is what we can see during market hours. Above it, then it means it wants to go up. Any lower high, if it's not going to 497, you get puts, ride it back down. Okay, now these strategies are 2 weeks. It's not just 1 week, you're looking at it 2 weeks. So the ones I started looking at, they're still the same place you're looking at this week, but these are the ones you're focusing on this week because of the movement from last week. So here Netflix is coming from support, it's not coming from resistance. It had hit a resistance and dropped. Okay, Amazon. So Amazon, we know it broke 200, but it didn't stay there for long. We had it tried the whole week to break above it, but it failed. So this was just a clear puts play after it attempted 1, 2, 3, 4 and failed. Broke it slightly here, but still failed to stay above it. So it meant we were going down. So this one is coming from where? A support level. So you might get either a continuation first or it moves back up. You need to break above 196 for us to get an indication it wants to go back up. If it doesn't touch that, then you're riding it down. So now you want to see where did it come from. Came from 181, almost close to that. So break that, we're looking at 173. Okay, very clear moves for this strategy. Okay, so Amazon, Netflix, Melly, for those who look at that stock. Then we have Crowd. You guys know last week they had an outage and Crowd dropped. Crowd was in our 5K list last week. So now we are coming from a support level. So you want to see it go up, it needs to be above. Ugh, I don't know if we're gonna hit for 383. So it had a massive drop. So it was already bearish last week. So that we need it above for 383. I don't know if it's gonna go back. So you getting two moves. Either it will continue down first, then give you up. So either go up. If it rejects 383, you're riding it back down. You want to know where it came from? So this ER, this was 3 in June. We had 276 and we broke that level to 265. So if it has continuation, Crowd has been bullish for the longest. When we were having stocks being bearish, Crowd was just bullish last year. That's why it filled that gap dropping, because Crowd has been, when stocks were dropping during August, that bearish month, Crowd was just trending up. So when I look where it came from, that's why we had that drop. Any stock that has a huge drop. Look at this. This was November last year. So we came from, I'm looking at a tool. So here, this ER, we had this, it broke 200 and this is 238. So look back and see where it came from. That's why Crowd filled that gap, because it's been trending up for long. Okay, so this is 272 here and we broke that level. So we need to be above 383. I don't know if that's possible, but any level, if it's a lower high, then you're riding it back down. So this week is pullback, continuation. So either that stock is coming from support or is coming from resistance. So this one, Netflix had that drop, Crowd coming, Amazon coming from support. Shop. Okay, so this one is also coming from support. So Shop needs to break above 70. So if it breaks 70, it's telling you it wants to go back up, and we know it came from 79, which was May, the previous ER level. Okay, so that's what we're watching for. If it creates a high low, you're riding it up. It needs to be above 70. If it's above 70, it's telling you I want to go back up. We have MA So MA was coming from support. It had hit 2 month low here. Then we had this bearish slingshot. So MA already broke this 450. So this has already told us the intention. It wants to go higher. So this is the level, the next level, 463, 464 here. So we already broke this level. So it means when it's going up, it will break this 450. So you're not looking at this as a stumbling block. You're looking at this one. This is the next level, 464. Okay, because it already broke this. It's already had a change of character here. So MA, something to look at. And we have PEP. So PEP already broke this level. So you are looking at PEP for continuation because it broke 169, went to 172. So now we are looking at this 174 and 183 for continuation. If it pulls back, creates a high low, then you're still riding it up. So we broke this 169. We need to break this 174. It rejected here. That's why it came down. So if we want to see it go above 174 for us to have some continuation. Okay. So that's for, let me look. We have V, the same thing as MA. They had the same movement. Chinese PDD. So PDD, it hit and broke the key level we're looking at was 144. So it broke it. So this is the level we broke above it, but we didn't go to 152. So this is the level we are watching for this week. They didn't have a good CPI, but so we want to see how it's gonna react. So we broke this. The important level was 144. We broke it. So now we want to see if it will go back to break this level. Then it will give us an indication it wants to go back to 152. If not, then below, because it has touched this 130 level 2 times, it's not a good sign. But if it holds above it, we're still going to go to 152. Post year we hit 164, so we want to see if it will go back to that level. If not, lower high, you ride it back down. So we broke this 120. After 131 we have one, after 130 we have 122, then we have 110. Okay, so that's the level we are watching for. But you're looking at two movements this week. There is no very few stocks are in the momentum list, so we're still looking at pullback, then possible bearish continuation, or we're gonna go up, then a shallow pullback, and then continue into next week. So this strategy, you're looking at it for the next 2 weeks. So this one was in 5K list last week. Didn't do much. It will had this pullback, but it still didn't go to 238. So that's the level you're watching this week. It needs to break above this 238. You have this same level. It has been hit 1, 2, 3, almost consolidating here and here. So we need it out of this consolidation. So it either goes below 220, and this 220, it has been hit 1, 2, 3 times. So either it breaks this 220 and then you ride it back up. So if you get a new support, you ride it up. If you get a new resistance, you ride it down. You're getting two movements this week. So those are the ones for resistance. Now the ones for support, I'll finish posting them. I think this stock it reports earnings. Oh, it's reporting here. So Triple M, it's a retail. So we had this 106, it didn't touch 106. So you want to see if it's breaking this 106, then it's telling us it wants to go up. If not, you're coming down. That's no, it doesn't move big so much, but if you're getting those two movements, can be a good play for Lotto. So these ones you're watching for Lotto moves. If the move is happening Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you have a move up or a move down, then it means that before end of the week, you should get a counter move. So these are all potential for Lotto plays. You ride it up, you ride it back down. Coast, I think coast. So Burlington also here. So this one is coming from resistance. So we broke this to 43. So the minute we broke it, it was telling you it's a continuation play. This was the post ER high. The minute it broke it, it was telling you it's gonna be a continuation play. So you have after this, you're riding it up. We got a new high. So now we are this like double top. So we want to see will it needs to break 255 for continuation. If not, continue down. So I will post all now is also we are looking at now this week from support. I'll post the support levels. So this is coming from support. So now it needs to break. We had already looked at it. It needs to be above 277. Then we have a chance to go to 2806. So this week is about support and resistance because we had those massive drops last week. Okay. Now that's for support and resistance. Even NVIDIA is there, and NVIDIA is in our 5K. And if you're seeing a sector, then it means you're looking at all of them, not just one. So NVIDIA is coming from support. It needs to break above 137. Any lower high, then you're riding it down. Okay. NVIDIA, Okta. Okay. Now, the 5K plays, I've categorized them in either its momentum, by the deep sell, the list, the RIP. So each of those categories, all those have listed stocks that all of them can give you 5K setups. Okay, so for momentum, we have FedEx, LMT, we've already seen, ISRG, we've already seen. So FedEx. So FedEx, we hit 313. That was 52-week high. Then we had a failed slingshot. Okay. So we hit this level. It's not a failed slingshot. So day 2, we did not break below the previous day. Let me put it on 15 minutes so you guys can see clearly. So we hit 313.84 was on Tuesday. And then we pulled back on Wednesday. The next day, we did not have a slingshot setup because it created a higher low. It rejected this. So it meant that day, not that day. It is still had a chance to give us a new high. But when it went up, it hit 313.16. So it was a lower high and it was also a triple top. So when that happens, you're getting a pullback because it didn't give you a new high. So we had this move, went to 304 and still rejected at 297 and rejected touching 300. So this week, because on day 2, it still didn't give us a slingshot setup, it means there's a possibility it can still go up and give us a new high. Okay, so it's in the momentum. We want to say if it's going to give us a new high, if it gives us a new high, you're looking at the same thing, slingshot setup. If not, then it means you're going to break this level. We're going to go lower. Okay, so FedEx, LMT, ISRG, RCL, PG and Kimberly. Okay, so this one also gave us new high 172. It gave us a slingshot setup, but it did not go to give us a new high. If this happens, I've said always get put, so it continued lower, and then we have this pullback. So we want to see if it's gonna, we've had stocks having failed slingshot, but they still go up and give us a new high. So we want to see if we'll get a new high, break this 172, so our target is 180. If not, then we're gonna have bearish continuation. So still the same strategy this week. Is that stock coming from resistance or support? So we have that. We have GS. GS is in the buy the dip, sell the rip. So the ones that are buy the dip, sell the rip, they will either go up and give us, they will go up, break this previous high, give us new high and become momentum, or they will continue down. If they go up, give us a lower high. So buy the dip, it's at the dip. We came from 509 to 483. So it's at the dip. It can either continue lower or we're riding it up. If it goes up, it has to break this. If it's not breaking, you're getting puts. So it's a pullback. If it's not giving you a new high, it is sell the rip. Okay, so 509, it was headed, it rejected 510, multiple of 10. And here we're looking at if it's gonna stay below, above 480. If it's not, then we look at where we came from. We have this 475 ER support, and we know this 461, so it didn't have trouble breaking 460. So pullback, if it's not giving you a new high, sell the rip. Whatever resistance it gives you, get puts. The same thing for coin. So coin, we had this move on Friday. Anytime a stock breaks the previous, you have a change of character. So if you look 2 weeks, you want to look 2 weeks back. We needed it to break 240. No, it was above this. It was kind of consolidating for this whole week, actually for 2 weeks. That's why we had that move. So it was consolidating. Look at this, 217 to 24 to 25 to 15 to, so it was kind of going sideways for almost 2 weeks. Then you want to see the intention. The minute it broke this 247, you have a change of character. It is telling you I want to go up. So here it already told you it wants to go up. So you're looking at just higher low, ride it up. So we broke this 255. This was still a higher low. Then it meant we're going to break this 255. We're going to get a new high, and that's what we did. So this one is coming from a resistance. It's either going to continue. These stocks have, this sector has lots of room. So we have 280. So we have this 263. If it breaks above it, then we have a chance to go to 283, the previous high level. If not, get puts. So these, the ones under this category, they have a chance to go to momentum. We are approaching the 2 weeks to end of the month. So we might get some movement depending on how this week takes us. Okay, so we have coin, we have GS, we have SCN. So SCN had hit 52-week high low before ER, and then we had this move, so it came to the same consolidation level here, and then finally we broke this level, so we had a change of character. We still have lots of room to 387. So we saw it the whole of last week. If you guys were looking, SCN was just trending up, pullback, trending up, pullback. So we need, so we hit 335. We still have room to 387. Any level lower than this, get puts. Okay, so it's a buy the dip, sell the rip. So if it's not going to momentum, if it's not going to 387, it will not be momentum. It will be still sell the rip. Okay, so SCN. Now cut. since CAT is still in the watch list this week, it means expect the market to be the same. That's what I'm saying. This week is about if that stock is coming from support, it hits a resistance, you have to ride it up. You must get two movements this week. Okay, we're not just going to heaven this week. We must get those two movements this week. So CAT was in 5K play last week. We still did not retest 382. If it's not touching previous high, you still sell the RIP. Okay, so this was a good opportunity for puts. So hit 369, get puts. Okay, so we want to see if it will go up, break this level, or it will continue up, continue down. So we already had a buy, sell the RIP. So now we want to see if it will be a buy the dip from this support. And then low, I'd already talked about it. UNH, I've already talked about it. There's this UNH, we hit 5. So it was a RIP. Then it was briefly in the momentum. And then now we got a slingshot setup on Friday, but it did not give us a new high. If a stock is not giving you a new high after slingshot setup, just put. And you can see pre-market, it's down from 658, it's down to 556. So if a stock is not giving you a new high after slingshot setup, just plan for put. So we want to see this one would be coming from buy the dip because it's a support. It can continue down, so you're looking at it to reject support, and then you ride it back up. Okay, MSTR is Lotto and the same movements. So with coins, same sector. So we might be getting more movement this week, and we've seen it might open higher than Friday high. So we got this move. The minute it's breaking, so this was Monday, the minute it was breaking the previous week high and it was consolidating, the same thing with coin, it was telling you this, we're going higher. So we had 1645, 1675, then we came down higher low, so it meant we were going up, we're going to break this level, we got a new high. So we want to see if this one would be either continuing up and then it will be sell the RIP, or it will join. For it to join momentum, we need to break 1999, this level. So if it's not giving you 1999 this week, get puts. Okay. Pan W, I've talked about it. NVIDIA, I've talked about it. Lily. So Lily was in the momentum briefly. Then we had this massive drop. So this is buy the dip. We had hit a new high. We got a slingshot setup, but we did not get a new high. So if a stock is not giving you a new high after this slingshot setup, that's get puts. So we came, where did we come from? We came, so here in 817. So 836 is a higher low, went up. We want to see if it will go back up. So any stock in this, buy the dip, sell the RIP. If it's not giving you a new high, if it's not going back to 966, get puts. Okay, so that's Lotto, MSTR. Oh no, this is not buy the dip, sell. This is Lotto, MSTR. So the RSI was coming from the middle. So here it had come from momentum, dropped all the way. So the RSI has dropped. So now we want to see if it's push back up or will continue down. So we have MSTR, Lotto, Pan W, Lotto, NVIDIA. Pan W is because of that consolidation. NVIDIA, Lily, into these ones had that drop. So the RSI is in the middle. It can go either direction. Okay, so it rejected 674. Previously it rejected 676. So we want to see if it's a higher low, we still ride it up. If not, bearish continuation, we're gonna break this 622 and go lower. Annette had that drop. So all these have potential because they had massive drops. Okay, massive drops. So this is coming from support. RSI is in the middle. It can either go back up. This one, we got a new high. We had a failed slingshot. So if it's a failed slingshot, we had a lower high, you get puts. So we broke this 627. So the next level we have, 327, we have 291. So if it keeps dropping, we have 291, or we ride it up. Going up, if it's not giving you 367, 376, still yet puts. Okay. Now SMCI, this one is gone back to bearish after all those semiconductors. KLAC is also in this list. LRCX is in this list. So semiconductor stocks, most of them are in this bearish. They're already bearish. Okay. So we came from 963 down to 774. So we're either going to get a pullback. So stocks, when they are bearish, you're getting pullback, bearish continuation, pullback, bearish continuation. So these ones are officially bearish. SMCI, KLAC, SML, SMCI, KLAC, SML, and what was the other? Almost all semiconductor stocks, if you look at the categories, they are almost all in the bearish trend. Okay. Then Netflix, we've talked about it. Alta. So Alta tried to pull back last week. So this one, we had 413, then created a lower high. Then we had this move. So I think this was this 2-month high. So this was the high in June, May. So we still don't have a 2. It needs to break 421. So if it's not going to 421 this week, still get puts. So here we had 413, 412. It was still a lower high, get puts. So we're still looking at that this week. It's bearish. It's bearish. So pullback. If it's a lower high, bearish continuation. So we have 390. It needs to break this 413 and 421. If not, bearish continuation. So we already have double bottom. We have 381, and then we have not yet. So it can go down to 381. Break it. We look at where it came from, 376. So these are bearish. BA, it's also bearish. So pull back. If it pulls back any lower high level, get puts. Now pull back, you guys know pull back can take 3 to 6 days. Okay, so BA tried last week, but it still fell short of 191. So this was 187, 188. We had double top. Then we see, actually, we had triple top. 187, 188, 187, triple top. And then it came down, broke this level. So we had bearish continuation. Always these stocks, you want to see what happens. The minute you're seeing a stock, it doesn't matter if it's in the 5K play or not. If it's a stock, we know the trend from the categories. Triple top, attempted here, attempted here, attempted here, then bearish continuations. So we still want to see, is it going to break this level this week? Pullback, the same way here we had a pullback, this was a very shallow pullback. If not, bearish continuation. So we're still looking at that. We'll get a pullback. We need to break 192. If not, bearish continuation. Meta, the same thing. We got that huge drop. So all these, they give us that drop. So we dropped to 459. You guys know we came from 545, a new high. So that's like almost losing almost 100 points. So now it was pulling back last week. So wanna see still if it will go back up. It has some room to go to 500 and above. If not, bearish continuation. So this was already pulling back. We already got 1, 2, 3 days out of the pullback. So if it's not going to go to any level below 545, get puts. They are bearish. These are stocks that are bearish. The trend is bearish. FSLR, the same thing. From 306, dropped all the way to 205, losing 100 points. So last week, started pulling back. Pull back from 205. So we got this. We want to see, we got already 3 days. And it was doing like double top. So finally, we've broken this level pre-market. If not, bearish continuation. So any level. So we needed to go, it broke this 223. So now we have a change of character here. If we go by what is happening pre-market, so we needed to break this 240. If not, 240, 268. As long as it's not touching 306, get puts. This week, trust you me, we're getting 2 movements, not just 1. We're not going to heaven. Okay, that's for bearish stocks. Then we have those that are tired of being bearish. DLTR, we already looked at it. DPZ was in the 5K list and it was reported earnings. We had that massive drop. Okay, so this is coming from support. It was supposed to go to 548. It didn't. It hit double top at 535. And then we had this drop, massive drop. So now it's coming either from support. You're either going to have bearish continuation or a pullback. So these are officially bearish stocks. The bearish trend and the tired of being bearish, they are both bearish. Momentum and buy the dip, sell the rip, at least those stocks are bullish. Lotto can go either direction. Okay, so we either gonna, it's post here, either we get a pullback or we're gonna get a bearish continuation. Okay, DPZ, Lulu, it was in a 5K list, so it's still there this week. It started pulling back, but it gave us a new high. So here, this we're looking at bearish slingshot. So we got a new high, new low, 52-week low on Friday. So for it to get a bearish slingshot, it needs to break above the previous day high, which is 286. And then if it breaks the 3rd day, it means it's no longer going down. But if it's still here, we had a successful bearish slingshot, but as long as it's not touching 50% retracement, it is still continuation. Okay, so it's the same thing this week. Can give us a bearish slingshot, go up. If it's not touching 50% or not breaking 295, bearish continuation. So here it rejected 296. Snow and MDB. So Snow, we didn't touch 122. Was it? We came from 122. Yeah, 122. So that's what we're looking at this week. Either it's going to give us a new low, break that 122, go lower, or we have to pull back. Pull back and take 3 to 6 days. So if it rejects 122, you're riding it up. It needs to break 138, these previous lower high levels. If not, bearish continuation. MDB, same thing. So these are stocks that are bearish. The trend is known. I know people don't like bearish trends, but we are going into August. So you guys need to prepare yourself for trading puts. So we had hit 268. It was still a lower high. We didn't touch 272. So puts, you want to see if it rejects 237, you're riding it back up. It needs to break 268. If not, bearish continuation will break 243, give us a new low. CRM, the same thing. It's been bearish. So 245, this is, it's still a higher low. So you guys know we came from 212 post ER, last earnings. So we still have time to go to ER. As long as it's not going to 290, get put. So now we want to see, will it go lower or break this 212 or go to 290? Lots of room both direction. BNTX, so if you're looking at BNTX, you also look at Moderna. Even if it's not there, you also look at Moderna. Okay, so bearish. Started to pull back, lower high. We'll either get continuation down or a pullback 3 to 6 days. Nike, and look at Moderna. So Moderna was the same thing. It was in the 5K, I think, last week. Tried to pull back, but fell short. So it rejected 130, either bearish continuation, 98. This is 114, or we got a pullback. So this is no, so this is okay. It's not, we came from this level. So this was 2-month high, 170. So because we broke this 163, we might have some hope to go above 170. And the last one is Nike. This is post-year. Okay, had this drop. Sometimes you think these stocks will not go lower, and then they go lower. So we're either going to get a pullback or bearish continuation. So after this massive drop for these stocks post-year, there is hope. Even if it's doing 50% of this move, it's still a good move, or it's going to continue down. And these are the levels. 82, it broke this level. These are back in 2022. So it's back to levels in 2020, pre-COVID. So this is 60. So if it continues down, we're looking at 60. This is 2020 levels. That's where Nike has gone back to. Okay. Now, SPY. So I said last week, SPY has touched, maybe I took it up on here. So, no, not the one. I don't have it. So SPY touched and QQQ touched. You guys know since April, that's we've been trending up. Then we had the same thing happen in May when SPY touched. It touched the 20-day moving average. So we have the 20-day. Since then, it's just been trending along the 20-20-20, walking. And then finally, we did the same thing happened. What happened in May? May 31st here. Okay, so if it breaks that level, then it means you're going to 50. So add that indicator for 2050. So if it breaks below, it's below 20. It either has to go back up to this 565 or it's going to continue down to the 50-day moving average. Okay, so look at that 50-day moving average. And then the same thing for QQQ. So if you want to know what to anticipate, look at what happened here, the 31st. So if it's not going lower, then it means you still have go up. And here, if it breaks below 20, then it means the next level is 50-day moving average. So that's the first moving average after stock has been bearish for so long. So QQQ. So QQQ, the same thing. This is what happened in May here. 31st, 30th, 35th, we touched the 20, went below the 20, and then we pushed back up. So we want to see if the same thing will happen here. If we are not pushing back up, then it means you're going lower. Okay. Now, any level below 503, was it? We hit 503, 505. Any level below it is a lower high. We're still going down. So this week, we are still shaky. It's going to be two moves. We go up, you ride it back down, or you're coming from down, you ride it up. Okay. Kwaherini. Okay, this week, support and resistance. We're gonna get two movements. We have to work too much for us to be back in momentum, and I don't think it's gonna happen this week, not unless we have some news. But we have some good news in the politics. Let's see how the market reacts to Biden stepping down. Okay. Jep, sign us off.
Let's make this money.
All right, thank you.